and welcome to Owen the Town, and here's what's coming up today. Luton get dominated at home by Brentford, lose 3-0. The only positive from the weekend is that Batara's not sat naked on our table because we didn't get 6 points from our last two
You
games.
said negative. That's not negative.
That is
No,
true.
he said positive.
Either way, I'm glad you're not naked on our table today, if I'm being honest, mate.
Me too.
We take a look at Simon Sluga. How much has he improved in goal in the last year? Has he improved at all? We'll be discussing that. And we're also going to be answering your Instagram questions, which I think are going to be good today. I'm with Dave and Bataro, as always, to discuss the footy. How are you both? You all right, yeah?
Yeah, well...
It's been a disappointing week, hasn't it, of Luton games? It has been a very disappointing week.
I think we've gone from an absolute high to an absolute low, haven't we? We had a good week the previous week, and this week's not been so great.
If someone would have said to you, Sheffield Wednesday, Nottingham Forest and Brentford, 4 points from them 3 games, would you have been like, all right, I'll take that?
Yeah. I think I said it before. I think, I would have taken it. But it's just the
manner of the last 2 games.
Exactly what happened.
Like that Forest game, how we didn't go on in that second half and push on.
I think I wanted more than that.
Yeah.
Well, the Forest game.
I wanted more than 4.
I'll be honest. I think I don't even want to talk about that Forest game. That's the one that really got me. I'm not gonna lie. The thing is Saturday, right? Shocking, whatever. But I wasn't really expecting much from that. As a Forest game, I mean, like we said, we'll go into it, but that's the one for me that really fucked me off. Yeah.
Well, the Forest game is in the past now. So is the Brentford game. But let's talk about Brentford, and let's talk about your 3-word reviews of that game. First of all, Megan says, "What was that?" Darren says, "Halloween horror massacre." JMO says, "Levels in league." Justin says, "Pass it forwards." Dave says, "Never in it." Barney, "Must win Wednesday." Ed says, "Hate playing Brentford." Nev says, "Lacking forward creativity." Liam says, "We miss Cornick." And Cynthia says, "Backwards and sideways," which summed us up pretty much of the weekend, didn't it? Backwards and sideways. It just didn't seem like we could get forward at all much.
Yeah, but you kind of expect that, don't you? I said to you the other day, Dave, I mean, me and a slight disagreement about certain things. You said we look like the away team, we're shocking, this and that. And I said, look, do you know what? Most teams you play against Brentford every week, let's face it. I mean, you watch them, you know about Brentford, obviously, clearly. Brentford fan over here.
Yeah. He's not a Brentford. No, stop.
No,
He's not a Brentford.
no.
He works for a club.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is,
Thank you. For once. But yeah.
Brentford are a good side. They
Brentford
play hard
are a
at the
very
pitch,
good side.
and they control the ball. They dictate the ball against most teams in that division. They probably do it in the division above. They're a bit like Fulham in a way.
So I went to watch Brentford versus Norwich last Tuesday, and Mick Harford was there. Saw Mick Harford at the game. He was clearly scouting out, what we can expect from Brentford, and it's just almost as if like he came back with no knowledge. But
I don't think that's fair.
Nah, it's not.
I don't think that's
very
fair.
unfair.
That's a really, really wrong thing
to be
say.
fair, it's a tough game to play, and I thought we were a little naive the way we played against Brentford. They've got such a high press. And this is something I've seen every single week watching them, is they press high. And we just looked like we couldn't cope with that.
Is that naivety or is that bravery?
In
a way, if you're trying to match him or... don't get it wrong. In the end, it's naive. You're probably right, but...
Do you know what? I don't think we can look without thinking about how bad we were second half against Forest. And that's continued on to the Brentford game. And I think... tactically, we got it wrong on Saturday against Brentford.
Oh, massively. Let's face it.
We weren't in the game at all.
If that was Graham Jones last year, everyone would be fucking shouting his back, do you know what I mean? But let's not go there. But yeah, no, you're right. It's maybe it's a bit naive, but...
Let's go there.
No,
that's fine,
no, it's not.
Let's go there.
No, to be fair, we said on Saturday, Bataro, didn't we, that we were naive. We didn't press at all. We didn't have any speed. We didn't have any. The game was lackluster.
It was flat.
And whether or not the manager got it wrong, definitely got it wrong. 100% got it wrong.
I think you can't press a team like Brentford.
Well, you've got to give it a go. We're the home team. If you're,
I'm sure Man City could.
Yeah, but
go on, say it. We're not Man City.
We're not Man City.
Exactly.
Mate.
I've said that to you enough times, mate. When you've quoted things as well. So what I'm saying is, you can say you can't press Brentford. You can press Brentford. You can do what you want, but if you set up right, you can press any team.
We wasn't in the game from the moment the game started. And that's how I felt about it. We were crap the whole game. And the annoying thing is, you think at least you give it a go. Did we create anything?
No, literally nothing.
Nah, not really.
And just going back to what you said about Graham Jones, I think I've seen a few people say if that was Graham Jones, he would have got slated for that. But the thing is, Nathan Jones has earned
Yeah, of course.
these bad performances. Nathan Jones, Graham Jones was producing bad performances week in, week out. So I think it's harsh to say.
I disagree with some of that.
Sorry, say that again, because you were
I disagree with some of that. You say week in, week out. So I'm not going to get into that, obviously, that side of it, because that's what we're focusing on. But what I'm saying is, shit happens sometimes when you're in a rut. It does happen, but that's what I'm saying.
Shit
back
happens.
on last season.
No, I agree shit happens, but the performances in the last 1.5 games has not been good enough.
I'll be honest, right? I was more concerned about the Nottingham Forest game. I'll be honest. You saw the reaction from me. I've never been so devastated. I think in about 18 months.
Forest, we should have put away. Absolutely should have put them away.
That was the most disgraceful second half I think I've seen for a long time. I'll be honest. Disgusting.
Yeah, I agree with you. You and I were both sitting here going, "This is ridiculous. We're not pushed on. We're not taking advantage of 10 men."
Yeah.
And then we played like we were. I can't even describe.
We played like we were a team from the way below.
Yeah, absolutely
So,
that.
yeah.
But that's followed on to the Brentford game, isn't it?
Yeah.
And if we look at the Brentford game now, we kind of had the first chance of the game. It was from a corner. I think it was Bradley had a bit of a half volley, and it kind of just hit one of our players and trickled through to Raya.
Really?
But it was one of them starts where, I don't know, Brentford obviously control the ball. They love the ball.
That's them.
Get a lot of it. When we were attacking down that right-hand side with Clark and we had that first opportunity, I was thinking, you know what, maybe we could start creating some stuff here. But then we just didn't.
That's another thing as well. Jordan Clark. How many times did you say, Dave? Honestly, Dave was sitting there on Saturday going, do you know, Clark's the only one done anything. Obviously, I agreed because he was the only person
that
done
was
anything.
the only thing going on. I think
He had that geezer on toast, mate.
Generally, I don't even remember a chance in the first half.
No.
So that's how bad I thought we were. From the moment we kicked off, we were not in the game. That's
and when
how
you
I
get
felt.
into the position in the final third, like Clarkey a few times got down the right hand side or whatever, done that wherever his name is, and it was the wrong ball sometimes. I mean, you're passing it in the field and you're going back again. You think when you get into a position so high up the pitch, you need to think positive, and we weren't thinking positive. We were thinking, ball retention, let's go back again, and it wasn't working for us. We lose the ball then fucking deeper down the pitch or whatever. You know what I mean, it was
backwards
just
and sideways. That's the thing.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go. Exactly what we were told earlier.
Well, Brentford took the lead. Sorry, I just got an electric shock from touching that. Brentford took the lead in the 20th minute. Rico Henry. I think this goal just sums up our last couple of games, doesn't it? Because we've let Sergi Canos get in down the left. And let me, if I'm being honest, you had a bad game when you let Sergi Canos do that. Lockyer doesn't clear it properly. Awful shot away, and it's just come to Rico, and he smashed it in bottom corner. Could Simon Sluga save this?
Listen to him. It's come to Rico, not Rico Henry, but Rico.
Yeah, Rico, my mate Rico.
Behave, mate.
Could Sluga save this?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, absolutely.
100%.
Should he save it?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
He needs to get a stronger hand to it. Yeah.
And the only thing,
whether he's unsighted, we never know. But
well, that's what I was about to say. The only defence you can give him is maybe he saw it late, but apart from that, yeah, I would expect him to save.
To be fair, he has shot it quite hard, but I think maybe for an international goalkeeper, you're probably saying two strong hands on that to pad it wide, or are we being harsh to say Sluga should save it?
We would expect your goalkeeper to save those chances.
Maybe because he's had such a good sort of last few months, maybe I'd say.
Look, don't get me wrong. He played well in parts of the game. He made some great saves, but I think for me, yeah, he should have saved it.
I think so. I think you should save that. Yeah, of course.
We're going to be talking about Simon Sluga later on in the podcast. Got some interesting points to make about him as well, which I think will be very worth listening to. So yeah, Brentford go 1-0 up. At that point, I'm just like, don't want to let Brentford get that first goal because they'll just control the game. And then minutes later, they get their second. And do you know what, right? The goal they scored for the second, I just think they make it look so easy. Why can't we seem to ever do stuff like that?
The Tony tapping?
Yeah, literally. It's a diagonal ball to Mbuemo, takes it down the box, puts it across the face of the goal, and Tony's there to tap it in. And look, Tony's worth 10 mil, but
he's not.
But
yeah, let's look into
that. He's worth 10 mil because that's what they paid.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
But why isn't that the kind of positions like Tony's getting in there, which we want to see Hilton getting in?
We never created that position
I was
at
gonna
all.
say,
not a chance. Not
you've
a
got
chance.
to shut up. You've got to create that opportunity. We're not creating that shit for fucking absolute nothing, man. I'm telling you now.
That's what I'm asking you, though.
That's the difference between the wingers.
How do we create opportunities like that? How do we get in that opportunity where we've got Jordan Clark getting in behind and just knocking it across goal for Hilton or something?
Hang on a minute.
The last time we saw that,
it in Mbuemo? How much is he worth? Probably valued about 15 million, 10 million.
No. You can't talk about values of players. It doesn't matter what team you're in, you still need to create chances.
But what I'm saying is, though, Dave, when you've got a player or players around that you're paying good money for, you expect them to be good. I mean,
Yeah, but-
we've got players.
but
Come on, man. We've got Harry Cornick. I know we weren't playing Saturday, but for instance, from League Two, from on a free from whoever, or, I don't know. Do you know what? That might be bullshit. I don't know. But
what I'm trying to say is, it doesn't matter who's playing for you. You still got to create those chances. Doesn't matter how much you're worth.
how are you supposed to create chances when you're playing against a good? I'm not being funny, but they are a good side.
Yeah,
They're a very good side. They're well drilled.
Sadly, we have to say they are a good side. However, doesn't matter if you're playing for a football team. It doesn't matter if it's Luton or whoever else. You need to create those chances, and that's what you expect your players to do.
How many times we create them chances, especially last season, where we're like down the wide right or whatever else, and we fuck the final product up.
We saw it this season with at Watford with Cornick into Colo, hits the bar.
Yeah,
that's the kind of thing I want to see more of, though, and that's the type of thing I think if Hilton's going to get a goal, it's going to come from a situation like that, with Cornick down the right hand side, maybe Clark down the right hand side, and a ball in like Mbuema did to Tony. I think that's the way we're going to see Hilton get a goal, because I just think Hilton again at the weekend.
Was that an Mbuema assist, or was that a knock-off Norton Davis? Was it a slice from him?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm going to question that a little bit, but I don't know. But
what did you make of Hilton, before we move on? What did you make of Hilton at the weekend?
I thought it was quite... I didn't understand. I didn't understand how
Collins didn't start.
Yeah, absolutely that.
He didn't look happy, Colo, and not starting.
Absolutely not. But also, I think Hilton worked hard, but there was nothing there. There was nothing there. He didn't
really
get
have much going from that, did he?
He didn't get no service. If you're a centre forward, you want the crosses in to go onto. He didn't get that. There was nothing. There was nothing from our front that impressed us at all. Nothing.
When you say like he doesn't get service and stuff, I think we're all just can confirm then Danny Hilton's the type of player that does need service. He's not going to be that player that gets the ball and makes something happen himself, is he?
Danny Hilton needs the ball in his feet first off.
He's a centre forward, for Christ's sake. From me, and given my age group, centre forwards, they're there to put the ball in the net. They're there to create the chances that you give them. Hold the ball up, get the crosses in, let them nod it in. Be mixing it up there. He didn't get that. He didn't get that chances.
What I'd say about Danny Hilton, he was up against Sorensen, who's Brentford's fourth choice centre half, who was on loan in League One last season. And to be honest, I think he had him in his back pocket the whole game, Sorensen. I don't think Hilton.
Who's on loan?
So then you have to question the manager's.
Wimbledon.
But then you have to question the manager's decision not to start Collins.
I just think it's tough.
I would say, I like Danny Hilton, and we've backed him. We say he needs time in the game, but then you have to question why he started against Brentford.
Maybe Nathan Jones looked at the Brentford game and looked at the Rotherham game and thought, I'd rather play Collins for 90 minutes against Rotherham.
But at the same time, we were... Well, I know I was. Dave, I think you were the same. I'm not too sure about you, Luke, but I said against Forest, I wanted Danny Hilton to start that game. I didn't want Colo straight in. Weirdly enough. I know it sounds very strange saying I don't want your main centre forward in there, but against Forest, I wanted Hilton in there.
I agree with you about Forest, but... And I sort of agree with you. Maybe he thought Rotherham, Collins will do better.
Yeah. No, I get that.
And maybe... not get him injured, not get him whatever. However, we were so lacklustre up front on Saturday. It was unbelievably...
I'll be honest, I really don't think it makes a difference, Like the fact that we played Hilton or Collins on Saturday, I don't think it makes a difference. I still think we fucking exactly the same outcome happens. I don't think it makes a difference. It does not at all.
Because we created...
Yeah. The only difference is you get a bit more work rate from Colo. That is literally the only thing you get.
Pearson was the one to make way for Luala on 37 minutes. We had to change something because I think if we stayed as we were, I think he said Norrington Davis was struggling, which was proof when he had to go off at half time. The way we set up second half, like this just really hurts my brain. So Norrington Davis had to go off, so we had to put Craney at left back, which is just the most painful thing I've ever heard. Lockyer had to go to right back. Ray dropped into the back four. And you're just looking at that back four thinking, we can't continue like that, surely. No. We can't continue with that back four. Is it time to recall Kioso now?
Well, Jones has said he would do that if he has to, so he needs to realise.
He hasn't done it yet, though, has he?
No, but
Sorry, I can't see it happening this week.
So he obviously thinks at the moment we can cope without it. But
Well, maybe Bree's closer to being back quicker than we thought, maybe.
well, let's hope so.
No,
Let's
I
hope
don't even
so.
know what's wrong with Bree. Does anyone actually know what's wrong with Bree?
No.
What's wrong with Potts as well?
Potts is a weird one,
that's
isn't it?
yeah.
It's
Potts is a
one.
weird
There's a few
one.
things coming about that. I'm not too sure, but
I've heard
first of it was 3 or 4
absolutely
weeks.
nothing about Potts.
So you got people playing out of position than they normally would. What do you expect from that team?
This is the thing, isn't it?
Well, we had our first shot on target in the 76th minute. Lualua,
Did you say first or only?
probably first and only.
It was our only
He
shot
cuts
on target.
inside and shoots it straight at the keeper, which is great. And then Marcus Force comes on and chips Sluga.
I think by this time, Batara and me were just drinking more.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll concentrate on other
Yeah,
things.
it
won't we,
was
at that
just
point? We won't be
we
watching.
got to the point where you knew that we were not going to do anything, and I think that's the saddest thing. As a Luton supporter, you want your team to at least have a go, and we didn't do nothing.
There you go. 1 shot on target. It says it there.
Oh, does it say there? Okay, so 1 shot on target.
Realistically, it could have been maybe 5 or 6 for Brentford, couldn't it?
Yeah. So then you've got to say the keeper did some good saves, but the rest of it, no, forget it.
It was just piss poor all round. It was awful.
To be fair, I didn't recall Sluga even having to make
He made one very
one
good save.
very good save.
It was actually Dave. It was you that called it first.
What,
off,
in the
wasn't it?
second half?
From the corner, I think it was.
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
flicked it on the end.
that was Craney.
Hey?
That was Craney.
Oh, yeah, it was Craney. There you
yeah,
go.
Would have been an own
that.
goal.
Yeah. Could have been an own goal.
Yeah.
What a great save.
Brilliant save.
However, the rest of the team performance, just forget it. Forget it. It was so bad, and we've had a good start, so that compensates for it a little bit. But
Do you know what the thing is as well? I could get over the 3-0 defeat to Brentford if we'd beaten Forest on fucking Wednesday, because that's the thing. I still say it disgusts me now. It disgusts me.
Yeah.
yeah,
Wednesday
the Wednesday result was not. We should have put a 10-man team away.
Uh-huh.
Absolutely, we should have taken the game to them. And instead, we sat back, and we didn't take advantage of our advantage. And on Saturday, yeah.
Do you think it's fair to say that maybe, look, we've had a good start to the season. You still look at that league table now and look at some of the teams below us. You probably wouldn't have predicted that they'd be below us at this stage of the season. So I wouldn't say we're overreacting to this Brentford defeat, but like it wasn't the best.
I think it's the week in total, isn't it? Rather than just the Brentford defeat, I think it's the Forest game as well. I keep saying.
Exactly.
Is it a reality check maybe of that actually?
No,
I'm not too sure about reality shit, because at the end of the day, we're in the Championship, for Christ's sake, with a small budget. I know people go, oh, fucking stop going on about the budget.
stop going on about the budget.
But it's true at the end of the day. It's so true. We can find gems and whatever else, but, you know, like you're competing against some people, like, you know, some teams, up there with big budgets, and they can go and spend what the fuck they want. They can try new things every 6 months in the transfer window or whatever. Do you know what I'm saying?
A few weeks ago on the podcast, someone asked us in the Instagram questions saying, is the shots on target a problem? And at the time, I think we'd scored
I don't think so.
like a high percentage of them shots on target. But you look at it now, and we're struggling to create, like in the Forest game, in that second half, one clear-cut chance in that second half from Clark when he should have gone across the keeper. Saturday, I wouldn't say we had one clear-cut chance at all. Do you look at that now and maybe think, is it time to try and just change something going forward?
I'm not too sure, because I still look at shots on target sometimes as goal-scoring opportunities. I look at a shot on target and you think, well, that could be a goal-scoring opportunity. If you have 4 goal-scoring opportunities in the game...
In the same way, though, to be fair, though, shots off target are just a little bit off target, you know. Off target could be an inch off target. No, you know what I'm saying? They could be...
And on today's episode of State the Obvious?
No, come on. What I'm trying to say is, you record shots on target because they're going between.
They're great chances, and they could be they can be slightly off the post.
And you can have the same thing where you have an opportunity and you're just slightly off, and it doesn't get recorded. So it's creation of those opportunities, and we don't create enough. What we get, 4 shots on target. 1 on target, 4 shots at goal. So
either way,
we need to create more.
Need to create more, and I think after watching every single Brentford game this season, that is the most comfortable they've been all season. The easiest game, and this is what Nathan Jones had to say after the game.
I have the biggest respect for Nathan Jones.
When I say Nathan Jones, I mean Thomas Frank.
I have the biggest respect for Nathan Jones and his coaching staff and Luton as a club, as a team. I think they they've done fantastic first to survive last year in the championship, but also the start of this season just shows that they're a very strong side. They're very difficult to play against, and the way we managed to keep them on maybe one chance or maybe half a chance on set pieces, that's well done.
So, like, Thomas Frank's looked at that game and he's saying Luton's a tough place to go to. A lot of respect for us. Managed to stay up. I think they think of us as quite a physical side. Would you agree that we're quite a physical side?
No.
No, I don't agree with that.
Yes. How many physical players do we have?
How many second balls do we lose as well?
Yeah, but how many physical players will we have? You know, Hilton, you'd say for start.
Glenn Ray.
Yeah, and maybe Sonny. That's about it.
Pearson as well.
Well, Pearson, yeah, maybe Pearson. But
Yeah, I don't know about physical. Mate,
So
I wouldn't even say we're that aggressive at times. I think we bottle a lot of things. I'll be honest, we do.
What, Saturday we did, yeah.
Yeah, it was
absolutely.
second ball sometimes. You expect fucking people
It's
to go.
so disappointing that we weren't that strong. Although, it's nice to know that they have a little bit of respect.
Yeah.
And here's what Nathan Jones had to say after the game.
You know, we structurally look good, and it's just once we don't quite do things right, we get punished, and then it's difficult to get back in the game against a team like that. Because if you do become open and take gambles, then they can hurt you. Look, today they were the better side. They're a wonderful side. Credit to Brentford and Thomas, because I said they've got good players. They're well versed in what they do. They've been doing it for a while now. So look, we're just slightly behind them, but look, we're competing, and that's the thing.
Structurally, he says we were okay. I think maybe for the first 10, 15, we might have been
until we
okay.
conceded,
But
we went to shit. Can I just say we're slightly behind? I fucking hope he's got that one right, because we're slightly behind, mate. I said we're in for a good next few years. I think that's true.
A little bit of perspective is obviously we all know, and especially you, Luke, that Brentford were inches away from going to the Premier League last season.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
so
it.
you know you don't expect to beat them, but you know. It was just, for
play
me,
well.
with the whole decision, if we'd have lost and we'd performed well, then it'd be different. But we lost and we performed so bad, it was unreal.
well, it's in the past now, so let's move on to Rotherham on Wednesday. Hopefully 3 more points, and then Huddersfield, hopefully another 3 points before the international break. And if it happens, will you be naked here next week?
No, stop it. I don't want to see you
no,
naked.
I should stop. That's really weird of me to say, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck
Says
it.
the-
Oh,
No.
doesn't matter, mate. Come on.
No. But
I'll sit here with body paint on.
Oh, no.
you've still got a tattoo to arrange, so I don't want to see you naked yet.
Anyway, we're going to talk about Seaman
Ever.
Sluga as our player focus today, mainly because of the chance he should have maybe saved from Rico Henry the other day. But also, as I was at the game and behind Luton's defending.
Chuck that one in. I was at the game.
Actually, before we go on,
I was at the game.
before we go on,
Don't make me
what was
conceive
it? No,
the podcast.
seriously, before we go on, what was it like being back at Kenilworth Road?
It was lovely. It was really nice.
Bastard.
It's weird because the amount of COVID precautions are in place, and you have to go up to the main stand, and if you want to get to one end, you have to go like out and around, and it's one way, and
But was it good to be back there?
it's nice to be back there. Yeah,
Must be quite difficult one way at Luton.
yeah,
I mean, you can only get. But even if it's 2 ways, sometimes you can't hardly get through.
it is, and you have to wear a mask the whole time, so
Christ.
you just end up with a spotty chin. But either way, basically, I was behind Luton's goal for both halves, and for the first time ever, because I never really sit behind the goal at Luton, and when there's fans you can't hear much, but I could hear everything Sluga was shouting at the back four, which I found really interesting because he is very vocal. Taking charge of Sonny, and you know I can hear Sonny shouting at Sluga, pass it to Pelly, pass it out to Lockyer, get it to Craney, kind of thing. And I'm thinking, right, is this the kind of thing that's improved Sluga in the last year? Has he improved in the last season?
I think he's improved. Maybe we underestimated his ability to control because of his language, because of where he came from. So, yeah, it definitely has improved since he's first joined us.
What do you class as improved? I'm going to throw it out there. What do you class as improved? Because for me, like I read something earlier, someone said, where was it? Anyway, it was about the whole thing of not making mistakes. Is that improving, or is that just not making mistakes? You've always got the ability there. Because we've seen highlight reels before he even joined. We knew what he was about. We've heard about him. Do you know what I'm saying?
When he is, let's be fair, he's a big signing for us money wise. So you think he's going to come in and absolutely be the completed object, really, the completed player, and he wasn't. He made really easy things look hard, really.
What I'm saying is that improving as a player by cutting those mistakes out? Is that improvement,
Of course
or
it is.
is that just
Yeah.
confidence?
What is improving? Well, if
you
your
can improve
confidence,
your agility, you can
if your
improve your
confidence
skill,
gets
but-
better, then you improve, right? It doesn't matter what
Yeah,
you do in
improve-
life.
no,
if you're
yeah,
more
yeah, of
confident,
course.
you become better at it.
Improve performances, but as a human being, I genuinely think that he had those abilities before and those attributes. He could do that before. I mean, we see him make some
Yes, he
some
could
mad
do it
saves
before,
and
but he
whatever else.
hadn't done it before. He hadn't done it consistently before. That's what I would say. So has he improved? Definitely improved.
Improved performances all round, yes, but skill level improved. No, because for me, he
No,
was still
because
pulling
he
off mad
always had-
saves. He already had that skill set.
We
so
wouldn't have brought him in if he didn't
yeah.
have that skill level. So when you say, Luke, that he was controlling the back four, because we never heard that before. You've never been in an empty stadium. You can't hear him shouting. You can't do any of that. So
He is very vocal.
yeah, so
He is very vocal.
that's a good thing, though, isn't it? For your goalkeeper to be vocal, that's what you want him to be, isn't it?
I feel like he's calmed down a bit as well. He doesn't rush into like things like as much as he used to. In all fairness to him, like he used to get like proper fucking uptight, didn't he? And,
I
like,
think he
sit there
kicked the
raging.
post when Force chipped him.
Oh, that's Sluga all
Yeah,
over,
but
man.
do you know
Surprised he
what
slapped
though?
himself in the face.
Do you know what though? I don't think. I mean that opportunity shouldn't have happened.
No.
He couldn't have done much more.
Oh, I think he's done everything right, hasn't he? And was he against Forest? He came rushing out to save that.
Oh, from Lyle Taylor or whatever. Yeah,
Yeah.
brilliant goalkeeping.
Brilliant
yeah.
goalkeeper.
Because he is
So-
quick off his line, isn't
Yeah,
he? But
yeah.
do you reckon the
Very
lack of
agile.
fans has contributed to his
Who knows,
performances
but-
this season?
No,
Who knows? But you know,
No.
it's
no, I don't. I think the lack of fans have evened out the whole team. The whole team in particular. I don't. I think if there were fans there and he makes a great save, then he gets lots off the back of the fans. Appreciating that.
But we've been in the stadium when, the ball's been playing around our back four and it goes to the keeper and you can just feel this like nerviness in the crowd when Sluga's, on the ball, or if there's a shot coming in and he doesn't quite deal with it and everyone's like, come on, catch it. And do you reckon that make a difference?
I don't think that's going to happen now, given what we've seen.
if it makes a difference, then surely that's not him being professional enough. Because if you're professional, you should get that. out of your
Definitely,
head.
but you can't say that some of his mistakes haven't been like just pure nerves. Like you think when that keeps happening,
Yeah, no,
that
of course,
pressure keeps
of course.
building and building and building.
No, I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that, right? But what I'm saying is, at first, when he first came, I think he tried too hard. I keep saying it. I think he tried too hard to, be this mad goalkeeper and do everything. When you realise sometimes you don't need to do everything.
But
and he tried it.
Do you think he might have been aware that he was a big signing for us? I don't know.
Probably, but I don't know if that had any bearing on anything. But
I think it does have a bearing.
I bet he checked Wikipedia, didn't he? I bet he did.
well, let's look at what you guys said about
Yeah,
Simon
beer.
Sluga. Producer Jacob put out on our social media today. Has he improved since last season? And if so, does the lack of fans contribute to that? Dave says, I don't think he's improved personally. He's just cut out all the errors. He was making quality saves from his first game. Don't think the lack of fans is an issue either. The save versus Wigan at the Deaf last game in front of fans, arguably worth the fee we paid for him, which I guess, Batari, is pretty much what you were saying, wasn't it? Daz says, I think he made errors due to the fact his life had been turned upside down by moving to England. He just needed time to settle in. He's a top keeper and he not only helped keep us up last season, he's also made key saves this season. Howard Dog says, always been a good keeper. Off-field factors caused the horror show at the start of last season. However, now showing he's worth the price we paid for him. And Ian says it's hard to say if he's improved, but certainly so for Nathan Jones, as he didn't have any fans having a go at him / getting on his back from when he returned. I think no fans worked to his advantage, and as a consequence, he kept us up, which is interesting. I don't know. I don't think fans would have got on his back.
Have they really got his back that much then? Because I haven't really... me personally, I've not really heard much about
I think
fans getting his back.
I think it means if we were at the stadiums, people would have been a bit more...
Yeah, you might hear a few moans and groans, but that's normal. Do you not think that's just natural for a footballer to hear that anyway? You hear it of every single player. I mean, don't get it wrong, the whole from coming from another country or whatever, but...
Imagine there was a full house against Brentford on Saturday. Wouldn't have moaned about one player, would have moaned about all the players. Sometimes you've got to give the keeper a benefit of the doubt. Sometimes you make mistakes. But his mistakes are always costly. Mm-hmm. Always costly.
That's
A
just the
mistake
case
in
with the keeper.
midfield is not so costly most of the
Unless
time.
your Dewsbury Hall gets tackled at the weekend and tries to pull
Yeah.
someone's ankles around and then
Yeah,
they
that's
go
true.
and
But
score.
if you're going to try and
Yeah,
pull-
that's why he was. You said to me the other day he was lying on the floor. That's because when the player runs past him, he tried to grab his ankle to pull him down. completely missed.
I'm with you now. I'm with you. Yeah, of course.
Either way. Let's get some Instagram questions then today to finish the podcast. Tom says, was the tactics wrong against Brentford?
Yes.
100% wrong.
How do you play against them then?
Just kick them.
Fair enough.
I don't think we took the game to them at all. It's difficult to say how would we play against them because I'm not a manager, but I want to see more guts and passion from our team, and we had none of that at all. Did we set up wrong? Possibly.
You looked at the midfield line as well. It was very flat as well. Everything about it was very flat. I mean, you didn't see the midfield sort of like pushing on, one dropping on, vice versa. All you saw was like a line like this. I just thought it was a bit shy.
Disappointing.
Yeah.
Disappointing.
James says, is our form declining because the honeymoon period is over, or is it just a genuine rough patch?
You get these in football, genuine rough patches. We're good enough. We're good enough this season. Trust me, we're good enough.
We have a better squad than we did last time. I think we're playing better than we did last time.
We'll turn it around
last
as well.
season. Yeah, you know what? You can expect some defeats. It's just sad that they've all come in the same way. The performance has been rubbish.
I'm happy to eat my words if we beat Rotherham 4-0, but I do think the lack of chance creation at the moment is a worry. I do think that.
I agree with you.
Especially against 10 men of Forest, I think it's a worry, the fact that we couldn't take the game to them against 10 men.
10 men at Forest was disgusting. The way that we played against
Millwall
Forest.
away offered little going forward, offered absolutely nothing on Saturday.
True.
Am I okay
We're
to
not
say that's a little worrying?
Well, do you know what? Maybe we're missing Cornick on the team. Definitely. So
I know people like Slater.
the lack of creation,
but we do miss him.
Yeah, the lack of creation was
Of
just dreadful.
Ryan says Joe Morrell to start on Wednesday?
Yes, please.
Question mark?
Where has he been? Why hasn't
Fuck
he been?
no,
Why
he's
hasn't he been
unreal,
starting? So you big him up so much.
I love the bloke. I
and
think
then
he's
he's not
class.
on the game. He's not on the game.
I mean, when he's played, he's looked good. Do we not agree?
Maybe
yeah, absolutely right.
could he be potentially carrying a knock that we're unsure, like we don't know about?
Well,
Could he not be
carrying a knock and why
100%?
on the bench? I always say the same thing. If he's carrying a knock and he's not fit enough to play, why is he
don't
on the
put him on
bench?
the bench. Yeah.
Maybe he's
on the
not
bench.
fit to play 90.
Well,
How is that?
How is he
he
not fit to play 90? He's not had any knocks.
Is
since
that
playing
from
for us.
general fitness? I don't know. From not playing a lot, I don't know. But
I don't know, I'm just suggesting.
no. I'm just asking the question. What I'm saying is, did he start again? Did he start again? So against Millwall.
Millwall, yeah.
But
No, he
you know,
didn't start against
but
Millwall.
you-
No, I can't remember.
Batara, you talk him up so much.
I love the
Why
guy,
is
mate.
why is
You're
he not?
talking
when
about Batara as the manager.
Well, you know what?
I should
you
be,
know,
mate. After that fucking performance Saturday, I should be. And fucking Wednesday, I
No,
should
but
be.
the point is, he's a decent player. When he's been on the pitch for us, he's played decently.
He's a tempo setter.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, he's made some fantastic passes. Why isn't he getting a start?
Maybe Wednesday. You know, I'd like to see Morel and Dewsbury Hall play because I think both of them add a bit of pace to the movement of the ball. Just quicker transitions. Just get the ball, boom.
It's
Next phase
frustrating.
of
It's
play.
frustrating because you look at a player and think, God, he's got a bit of ability, and then we don't play him, and then you sit there and go, why?
I'll be honest, that really deflated me before kick-off. When I see the team
Well, we said
line up
that. We said that
it was
Saturday. didn't we?
deflating. Yeah, I just thought, come on, man, you got to put Morel in there. Don't get me wrong, I like Dewsbury, who looks like he's got a decent bit of ability about him as well, but sometimes he goes missing. So I know it's early days for him. I'm not getting anything like that before. I'm not trying to say anything controversial or stupid. It's not like that. But for me, Morel should be the starter. He's our player. He should be starting. If you're going to start, if you're going to start one or the two, it's got Morel for me.
Nathan, if you're listening, Bataro says start Morel.
Yeah,
Ben says,
has to.
what past player from the conference winning team would make it in today's squad? I'm going to say Pelly Roddick and Panzu.
Hey, well, because there's anyone still there, isn't he?
Andre Gray would make it in today's squad, I think.
Nah, just because it's shit yellow bastard, he can't.
Oh no, we're not allowing that back. I don't know the answer to that question.
I don't think there's anyone else in that squad that would make it in
Stick
today's
Steve
team.
McNulty in goal, mate. He's massive.
Yeah, why not?
You can see, don't he?
And I think that's pretty much all the Instagram questions we're going to go for today. Rotherham away on Wednesday, Huddersfield away next Saturday.
6 points.
Yeah.
Are we happy to be 4 points from them two games? We take 4 points.
Yeah, take 4.
I want 6,
I don't want anything less than 3 or 4.
3 or 4. I want 6.
I think
I'm
we've
only
got to be
sa- I'm
looking
only
to win one of them, haven't we?
Yeah, I'm only saying 6 to wind you two up.
Brilliant.
Let's think about we need at least one win. We need to have a really positive performance.
Just don't lose. Just don't lose.
No, not even that. We
need more than 2 points. Though. I say just don't lose. Not 2 draws, please. It's not 2 draws. Just
we need a
draw,
positive
win, or 2
performance.
wins.
We need a positive performance and a couple of goals for definite.
Well, it's going to be an interesting game on Wednesday.
Can I just say as well about the conference team or whatever? Stephen O'Donnell, was he in the conference or was he League 2?
League 2.
Okay, I was about to say he's playing for Scotland now.
We had Ronnie Henry at right back in conference.
Of course we did, captain.
Anyway, we will talk about the Rotherham game and the Huddersfield game on next week's podcast, which is actually... You're not going to allow to be here, are you? Because lockdown's coming.
It's going to be on Zoom.
Lockdown's coming. You're going on Zoom.
So, well, we have to, aren't we?
Yeah.
Otherwise, we might get fined, Dave.
I'll tell you what we're going to try and do
might.
next week as well. We're going to try and do a very first ever caller episode of When the Town. So if you're listening to this and you'd like to be on the podcast next week, we're going to put out a tweet at some stage. Just reply to it, DM us your number, we can give you a call, and we're just going to have a phone-in When the Town. We want to try it. We want to see if it'll work.
And no sex lines, thank you very much.
No sex lines. Thanks for clarifying that. So yeah, just keep an eye out for that tweet. If you'd like to be on When the Town, we can sort that out next Monday. And that's all we've got time for today.
That'd be fun,
it's a
wouldn't
bit
it?
more positive as well,
Yeah.
Thanks so much for listening. Thanks so much for watching. Get us on YouTube, get us on SoundCloud, iTunes, all that good stuff. When the Town. And we shall see you next week.